long irons. Golfers struggle with long irons, and I get it, right? These less loft on the club face. If you set yourself up correctly, it looks like there's hardly anything down there, and the last thing you're going to necessarily want to do is try and get the sensation of kind of, should we say, hitting up on the ball, producing less loft because you feel like it's going to go into the ground. But that's what we need to do, and that's the direction we need to move into. The most common problem that I tend to see with golfers with the more lofted clubs is, one, presenting more loft at the point of impact, but two, too much bending and, should we say, too much wrist cocking with the club in this backswing position. So common problems, positions that look a little like so, right? Now, what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're not doing that. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about wrist hinge, okay? I'm going to talk a little bit about wrist cock, and I'm going to tell you about what it is that you guys need to do to get better with the long irons. Wrist hinge is this motion here, okay? So my wrist is sort of hinging in this fashion, and we only need a little bit of wrist hinge in the golf club. So when we get set up to the ball, you can see there's a difference between the club shaft and my left arm. So as I take that club back, I just need a couple of inches of wrist hinge, okay, to be able to get that club shaft back in line with my left arm. And what that does is that gives me this nice straight arm relationship, which is what we really want. Now, also, when we hold the club, there is an angle created between the arm and the club shaft through the grip. And this can also be kind of known as radial deviation, or if you like, wrist cock, as it often gets referred to in the golf terminology. Now, the feeling that we want to have and the feeling that we want to trust when it comes to these long irons is we want to get that sense that we're going to swing back, we're keeping that club head away from the body, and then we want to get that club head coming down, and we want to get almost the feeling that we're coming up with the body, okay? So golfers who really struggle with long irons pull the club up and then throw it away. We want to feel like we keep it away and then we come up with it, coming in towards that hitting sensation. But you're only going to do that if you keep the club head away from you in the backswing position. So what you need to do in this backswing is you need to get that feeling that you're keeping that club head as far away from your body as possible. Now, what will happen, okay, and this will happen very naturally, is as you swing to about hip high, you'll be able to maintain this feeling of real width. But what's inevitably going to happen in this backswing is that your right arm is going to bend or your trail arm is going to bend. And when your trail arm bends, what will start to happen is you'll start to naturally introduce an element of wrist cock. Okay, so I can't swing the club back any further than this, okay, maintaining that straight arm relationship. Can you see the way it has to happen? And the reason why that's so important is because, and this is what I do obviously as a golf coach, is it's that difference between feel and real. So what I'm saying is wrist cock happens in the golf swing. But what I'm also trying to say is wrist cock will happen very naturally as your trail arm starts to bend as you go past parallel in that first part of that backswing position. And that's what's really key. So to become really successful with long irons, you basically have to become very good at keeping the ball position further forward. You have to become very good at focusing on the back of the ball, and you have to become very good at convincing yourself to present less loft at the point of impact. And the way you're going to do that is by making sure you keep those arms straight, you turn your body and you maximize width, because then you'll be able to keep that club coming low towards the ground, and that's the way that you're going to get the best results with your long irons. I'll see you soon.